Good morning, everyone. Grace and I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're both really excited for today's garden walk and talk. We have lots of new blooms to show you. There's Gracie to say hello, making her rounds this morning. And the main thing is that we have all of these beautiful lilies in pots blooming. Now, this is the first year that I ever attempted to grow lilies in pots, and this idea came to me because I saw them growing over at my mom's house. She decided to grow lilies in pots because she was trying to figure out a way to avoid rabbits and squirrels bothering the bulbs. And so she grew her lilies in pots and didn't have any trouble with the rabbits and the squirrels. The main reason I wanted to give this a try is so that I could have a movable focal flower display in the garden. And also it allows me the chance to have the bulbs bloom and to be able to see them bloom and then place them in the garden versus planting a bare bulb in the ground and trying to imagine the picture. So we're currently standing inside the main flower walk. You can see I went ahead and added some more orange annuals into the border. These are sun patience. You can see here in the corner of your screen, my first Saving Grace cutting has started to bloom, and one over at my mom's house is in bloom too, so that's very exciting. You'll see that my personal stock of Saving Grace dahlia is blooming all throughout the border, so we can get a nice close look at her. She's so beautiful, and the bees love her so much. But let's just start right here and work our way through the garden. We did finally get a break from the heat, and we got a little bit of rain. And the fall in love sweetly anemones are starting to bloom. This golden sage I just put in this year, but I can show you some later during our garden walk where I have an older hedge and it's really full and beautiful and lush, so we'll have to wait another year on that. But I have that golden sage back planted with some orange sun patience. I keep seeing sun patience at all of our botanical gardens. So here's a close look at the Kaveri lily. Amazing. Orange, yellow, a little bit of red there as you go towards the center. So I have 5 pots of Kaveri lilies, 7 lilies per pot. I started these all on our porch, and I grew them on the porch, which is located right next to our hose for easy watering, until about maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and then I stuck them in the border right as they were about to bloom. So let's check in on the hydrangea ram now. I think the last time you saw it, we had Invincible Spirit in bloom, and she was pink. But you can see now Invincible Spirit 2, Mini Mauvet, and Ruby have all turned that dusty green. And they'll remain that dusty green until probably around late September. And at that point, all the hydrangeas will start to go brown here in my area. I think the only thing that I did in this area since you saw it last was that I did go ahead and I pulled out all of the feverfew. So you'll see that we have some holes in this garden. And I also added in some sun patience over here. This is the Compact Blush Sun Patient. And I thought it just brought a nice pop of color. And they also kind of remind me of hydrangeas. So here's what Mini Mauvet looks like this time of year, late July in south central Pennsylvania. So this starts out more of a vibrant pink, and then it just kind of continues to lose color until it's eventually green. Haas Halo looks great all throughout the growing season. It starts white, then turns this beautiful chartreuse green. I'm not sure that Little Quickfire was in bloom the last time you saw it, but it's in bloom now, and it's even started to turn pink. And then here we have Invincible Spirit 2, which was that beautiful dusty pink color, a silvery pink, and now it's basically completely green. Now in terms of other hydrangeas turning colors, the Gatsby Gal has started to turn a pinky brown. So let's head over there and get a closer look. It's so beautiful, isn't it? And I see I have some weeds popping up in the background here that I need to take care of. that's okay. We had a really crazy heat wave followed by a big storm. So here's what Gatsby Gal looks like in late July in my garden. And you can see Annabelle is that beautiful chartreuse green. I want to harvest some of that today and make a wreath for the upcoming fall season. So now this brings us to the raised bed garden, where I did a big flip just yesterday. So you see we're kind of in between blooms here. Here comes Grace. I am really happy with how this creeping thyme is performing. This is from So Right Seeds, and I added in some more seed to those new stones I added in. It hasn't sprouted yet, but I've just been coming through here with scissors, and I've been trimming it that way. Here's the drops of Jupiter oregano that we planted together a few months ago. It's looking great and is blooming now. And check this out. This is really interesting. You know that euphorbia that Proven Winners sells that we had planted here last year? Well, I looked online and it said it's supposed to be sterile and not produce seed, but it's coming up everywhere throughout the cracks, in other raised beds. Like, let me even show you in this bed. And I really just have a menagerie of flowers and herbs and veggies in here. But look at that. There it is again. There it is. And I've actually been coming over the time with a mower, so you can see I mowed it right there. But I guess maybe it's not sterile after all. Martha Miller is in bloom at the moment, and I think she'll be available for purchase next year. So now we come to my raised beds, and you can see I just have some different kinds of tomatoes growing. I'm really happy with how we grew the basil around the dahlias. I think that worked out great. And we've been making lots of pesto. So in these middle raised beds, we had lilies and saponaria just a few weeks ago. And just last night, I removed everything that was here and planted in the floretsinias. The dahlias are just getting started, so I'll probably hold off on kind of a dahlia tour until a week or two from now. But you can see there we have David Howard. And here we have a beautiful artichoke coming on. And so I just have a mix of peppers and dahlias here. We had some jewels of opar pop up in this bed, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that go. But this is the Alpenglow from Floret. Over here we have some of my favorite tomatoes, and I used to grow all of these at work. This is black Russian tomato, which I think is the best tasting tomato that you can grow. Here we have the California Gold tomato. Let me pick one of those. So beautiful. Just a classic yellow tomato. Over there I have Celebrity, which is a quick to set fruit tomato, early blooming. All of these, with the exception of I think Black Russian, are determinate tomatoes, meaning that they grow to a determined size and they have a certain amount of fruit they're going to set. You can see the desert sunflowers are starting to go over. And this is where we had that branch come down onto our back fence. So we have to do some fence repair back there. But one thing that's happening that's a fun surprise is that the purple hyacinth bean vine, you can see the fence is broken back there. The purple hyacinth bean vine has started to attach itself to the garden library. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it do that. And what I'm going to do is come back here and help it attach itself to the library, probably attach it to the windows and have it grow up the roof. And then we'll have this really cool tunnel to walk through. So you can imagine, right, if that's attached to the windows and the roof, and we'll just be walking through all of these really cool purple hyacinth bean vines. I think that's going to be really fun. So here's what it looks like from back here, kind of in transition this time of year. I would expect in about 2 weeks, everything will look full again. But now let's head over to the driveway garden where we have lots of lilies in bloom and where I'm going to be making a really big change in about a week. In this garden, we have a number of lilies in bloom. This gorgeous tall white lily is very fragrant. It's called Casablanca. It's an oriental lily. For me, oriental lilies bloom in mid to late July. We also have this gorgeous deep pink lily with freckling. It's called Stargazer. Some people were asking me why some of my lilies are tall and some of them are short. So the ones that are shorter and have less blooms, I cut that particular bulb last year. When you cut a lily and leave only a small portion of the foliage and stem behind, it will be shorter the next year. Over in the other corner of the driveway garden, we have Rose Lily Tatiana, which is a beautiful double oriental lily. It looks quite similar to Stargazer, but it has a much more subtle and pleasant fragrance. This is a wonderful cut flower, wonderful in the garden as well. But if you like Stargazer, but you find the scent overpowering, perhaps try Rosalie Tatiana instead. All right, friends, it rained for a few hours and now the sun is setting, but I wanted to make sure and share with you a new book that I am so passionate about. This book really reignited my love for floral design, and it was also a really inexpensive book. I don't even know if saying that this book is about floral design is accurate, because it's really more of an artist whose medium is florals. I think that's probably a better way to describe this book. So let's head into the garden library. I think I got this book for $18 on Amazon. And she inspired me to break out the Delft pottery and fill it with Lisianthus, because the only thing better than one bunch of Lisianthus is many bunches of Lisianthus. So here's the book. It's called A Sweet Floral Life, and this is such an amazing and inspiring book. This book really has it all. It has tons of history on floral designers, floral painters. It gives lessons in floral design. She talks about photography. I know I'm not on those pages yet, but the photography section really helped me a lot. She talks about finding your own personal style, staying true to your heart. I just absolutely adore her. And then as this fun surprise at the end, she does sugar flowers that look 100% real. I mean, wait until you see this. That is one of her sugar flowers. Isn't that amazing? So she walks you through the whole process of how to create these sugar flowers. And we are just going to have to try this come winter. So I just love this book from start to finish. You know, when you pick up a book and start reading it, you either immediately connect with the author or you don't. And when it comes to this book, I just immediately connected with the author, and I could not love her or that book anymore. All right, one last look at these gorgeous Lisianthus before we say goodbye.